Good evening, people. I'm so confused. How can they, on the charges of be driving under the influence? She wasn't arrested for it. She wasn't charged by the prosecutor for it. Wouldn't that make it mute? I'm so damn pissed off at it. The FBI went to the prosecutor, told them not to charge her. She was not me. The prosecutor is corrupt too. And I believe the judge is corrupt. That's only my opinion, people. That's only my opinion. Can the judge dismiss it with prejudice? I would say yes. I would say yes, they could do it. I began to hate this other guy, the Glare. You know, I began to hate him. Some of his opinion stinks. You know, I am mad. I can't cause the wreck left the same. People, you have to be charged with drunk driving. She was not charged by the damn prosecutor. Understand this, people. It's so, it's weird. I'm so upset over this. Didn't get nothing in the mail today from any fans. That's okay. But I'm so upset over this. At least I got the audio. People, what's going to happen? Where's the audio and video of it, people? Show me the audio video that said she might hit him or did him. Where's the damn audio or video of it? There ain't none by any police officers and all this. Where is the video, people? Most of the people out there on that line is women. She's right. Truth and justice for all. What about John Keith? He's not getting his justice. People, when it comes to election time there, vote the prosecutor out, vote the mayor out. I don't care Reed and her lawyers walked back into the courtroom, which just show that on law and crime. On court TV, it's a killer or cover up. It's a cover up. John O'Keefe was a good police officer. The evidence showed that he was in the house. The data from the FBI showed he was in the house. People, I would wish you all a happy birthday today. Whoever got a birthday today. How come the coroner or the police take a cotton swab of his arm? That'll show that was a dog's DNA. They didn't do it. They didn't do it at all. Why was it? It's a cover up, people. The judge can dismiss it with prejudice. That's the best thing the court can do. Here he didn't do a goddamn thing, people. No, she's not responsible, you dumbass lady. There was no damn hit and run, you dumbass bitch. Where the hell you been? That must be another one of fuck you, lady. Behind some cooking pop. How dare you? You must be sleeping with one of the cops. She's saying Turtle Boy is bad, people. I'm going to try to share it again, but let's see if I can do it without again without StreamYard fucking up. Because you all need to hear this bullshit. All right, stop. So there must be a whole lot of people using StreamYard. It's 3:08 p.m. Eastern Standard. I, I don't know who that lady was, but she knows the damn fruitcake. She supports the whites. The day that shows the O'Keefe was in the house going down this. That lady said, Turtle Boy, the dumbass, don't know what he's talking about. Talking about. I wouldn't want you on my damn jury. You have me convicted before it gets started. No, it's stupid. Your people think she's guilty. A bunch of dumbass people. You did not listen to the evidence. The evidence I saw did not prove that she was drunk. She was not charged with drunken publicness. She wasn't accused of driving drunk. No charges. For what I know about a court of appeals, they couldn't bring it up since she wasn't charged. The things you can't bring up to prejudice the jury like the prosecutor and the judge do. You cannot charge them with lesser offense driving under the influence when she was not idiots. I hope the FBI goes after the judge. The prosecutor done lost one of the investigators, that state trooper, because he committed perjury. So he won't be able to testify. But but the jury's instruction is confusing. Even to me, there should have been not guilty not guilty of all charges. But it don't say it. One box says not guilty. Then you got the other charges. It's all charges and so on. If the judge wants her to be found guilty. And man, half of those people there in Boston, Massachusetts, I wouldn't want them assholes on my jury or any other jury if I listened to the damn uh, evidence. They did not listen to the evidence. It wasn't proven that people, I guess you're going to have to listen to me until they come back from court. Because I'm getting tired of looking at damn fans. StreamYard is messing up. I don't know because other streamers is using it or StreamYard needs more data. There's a whole lot of people streaming it. Somehow StreamYard is shutting me down. I don't understand it. I'm gonna put my stop my camera and that way you look at my Kenwood TS2000 and my D Star box on top of it. So I know it's only my opinion. You all have your right to your opinion. But we got to get justice for John O'Keefe and Karen Reed. John O'Keefe knows that she didn't do that. The expert says he was beat up, not ran over. You had experts saying that's not trauma from a car wreck or backing into him. Where's the experts? Where's the DNA from his arm to show it was dog bites? There's no dog bites DNA. Why didn't whatever those people assholes' names is? Why did they get rid of that dog? There's evidence. There's evidence of blood. Why didn't the police go there and search the house? That's where he was murdered, people. And experts testified that he was beat up. What's wrong with that fucking jury? You know, I'm 70 plus years old, people, on a fixed income, $800 to $900, sitting here discussing this with you. Get QuickBooks Solopreneur for $1 per month. So, you know, sign up today. I have my right. Our service department to my opinion. We have 20 bays in the service department. So Let's see what time it is. Oh, 3:17. I believe the judge can dismiss it with prejudice. For her best interest, that'd be the best thing for her. I think they got 60 to 90 days to bring charges against her and have another trial. It's going to cost you over $500,000. This one probably costs close to that if it's not over 500,000. And she was never charged with OWI, DWI, public intoxication. So how can they add that to the lesser charge? You can't do that. The Court of Appeals will overturn it. There is no evidence showing that she's driving the car drunk or arrested for it or cited in the court. You lawyers out there that's watching this, some of you watch me because I come up with good points sometimes. And I hear you all talk about them points on your show. White Rabbit, you got some good points. Your old man, the expert, I think he's kind of dumb not to agree with you. I put him in the doghouse. But listen to the evidence. Where is the evidence, people, that she drove over him 20 to 30 miles an hour backwards in the snow? Can any of you state that can you drive 20 to 25 miles backwards in a straight line? That means you got to aim at them or someone. You can't do it. It's impossible. You cannot keep the car vehicle straight. That's only my opinion, people. Thank you all. I appreciate that. I appreciate you all subscribers. And somebody said on Law and Crime, no dog DNA. Why didn't the coroner take the DNA off of the arm? Is the coroner part of the cover up? There should have been DNA taken from his arm. You know, if he was hit by a car like the prosecutor, you have some evidence from the DNA from the car, and there wasn't none. People, I know I'm dumb in some shit, but this is wrong. Karen's getting a shaft. Do not start any riot, because you'll get arrested, and it'll look bad for Karen and John O'Keefe. Please don't do that. Just pray for people. Pray to God that the jury come back and not guilty on all charges. But the form that they got, you only got one, not guilty. But the other three charges should have not guilty of all charges. It don't have it. To me, that shows the judge is crooked. You're supposed to have it in there, not guilty of all charges. Where is it on that jury form? I didn't see it nowhere. I did see not guilty box. That's not guilty. Does that include the other charges? I can't answer that. You lawyer that's watching this can. So I can't understand it, people. I'm upset.
I know a bunch of you upset over this. This morning I went out to feed the babies and grandma and this and that. June wasn't out there. That's that gray long haired baby cat. And the other one that looks like kind of calico with white feet. You seen that. But I just don't understand it, people. I'm going to throw you my post office box out there if you want to send me something. It's Tom Cartwright, 4375 at Post Office Box number 1, Charlestown, Indiana, zip code 47111. And the Cash App is the $ Tom Cartwright 4375. I want to tell you something about me. If you're new to my channel or you listen to it later, I'm in my 70s. I'm on a fixed income between $800 and $900 a month. I live on a budget. Everybody's supposed to live on a budget. Out of my budget comes my house payment, my car insurance, my cell phone insurance, my water bill, my electric bill, my gasoline for my vehicle. There's some more bills I can't think of. I'm asking you all that could do it, God to tell you to do it, but I leave it up to you and God. I need a new rider instead of hand me downs or ones that it's in good mechanic shape, got a new drive belt or a new mower deck with a good belt on it. Because this Troy belt I got done fell to pieces. It's probably 8 to 10 years old when I got it for free. Because of my heart condition, people, 4 heart attacks and strokes, sugar diabetes, high blood pressure, a few more arthritis. I cannot push some more. I got an acre of ground. I showed you videos of it. I might do a video on my cell phone by using Prism Live to show you my property, my house. There's things I like to do to my house. That's how come I like to have 500 to 1,000 more subscribers where I can get some money to help fix my house up and maybe make payments on a rider, a new rider. You're looking at $3,000 to $20,000 for a new lawnmower. I like to have a zero turn because of my arthritis. That'll help me exercise my arms. And you got my Cash App, you got my post office box. You should send me a cashier's check or a donation through the Cash App. You can send me things for my cat. You can send me cat treats, cat flea collars, but I've been told it's best to get them from veterinarian, which costs more. I buy flea stuff that you get at the dollar store. I got one inside cat that I cannot put it on because he started having seizures. And, I don't want John Wayne to die. I done lost over 6 kitty cats this month. Babies and Chester, you saw him. He ate breakfast the other day. I went out about 4 o'clock to walked to the mailbox, and he was laying there next to a tree, dead. He was a lovable cat when he was a baby. I doctored him up with peroxide and some other medicine. He ate breakfast that morning, but I guess God decided to take him for no reason. But I know God has a reason. These baby kitty cats outside and the cats I got in the house is like my children. These cats that's in my bedroom, one tomcat and probably 5 female cats. They know when I'm in pain. They sleep up by my left rotary cup. They know. They know when I don't feel good. They know when my stomach's upset because they sleeping on my stomach to let me know. I got one or two hernias. I think it's two. But I can only feel one. I'm not, even a 5-gallon gas can with gas in it is too heavy for me to lift. I can't afford to pay anybody to cut grass. And, I'm sorry if I cried a little bit, people. Jury is deadlocked, instructed to continue. I'm so upset over this. The doctor said, Tom, don't get upset. I feel sorry for Karen Reed. I feel sorry for your people that says she's guilty. You have not listened to the evidence. A reasonable doubt, people. Her defense lawyer should have pointed out more reasonable doubt. When I know of jury trials, when I've seen in my past here in Indiana, she was not charged with driving under the influence. She wasn't cited into court for driving under the influence. They cannot bring that up. Why they gotta keep showing that ceiling fan? Can't they show the courtroom, you know, or the prosecutor's bench? Why can't they show that?
After a weekend, especially when it's a holiday week ahead. So there's every incentive that they're going to come to an agreement to do it now before the end of the day, because if this stretches into next week, I think it's hopeless.
Yeah, and I wonder how long they'll have to go if they stay today, and if they're still hung before the judge says, okay, we can call it, versus nope, you have to come back on Monday. Holiday week next week, that's a big deal, I think, for jurors. I agree with you. Let's see if we can go back in. I understand that the jury was coming in to the courtroom. We don't have a picture yet. So, Jeffrey, as we're talking through this, is it undue, unfair pressure on a jury at 3:30 in the afternoon to say, what do you want to do now? We're not letting you just go home and call it a trial. You have to either keep deliberating or tell us you're ready to go home.
I don't think it's undue unfair pressure. I think it happens all the time in trials. We see it happen, before the lunch hour. We see it happen at 5 o'clock on a Friday. We see it happen on holiday weekends. It's just part of the process. It's the jury system. It's an imperfect system, but it's the best system we've got. And so I wouldn't call it undue, unfair pressure on the jury, but it absolutely is pressure.
But you got that one a-hole on the jury that's holding out for not for guilty. The 11 jury is not guilty. I believe that's what God's telling me in my heart.
It's going to close up shop as well. And so it's pressure on everybody. They need to figure out what's going to happen with this trial. They anticipated probably long deliberations. What they didn't probably anticipate is having to potentially schedule this trial for a second go round.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Let's do this. I want to bring any viewers who are just joining us some sound so they can see and hear what the judge actually said to the jury when she sent the jury back to continue.
You're going to hear the
deliberations after
audio.
The jury said we cannot reach an agreement.
Dear Judge Canoni, I am writing to inform you on behalf of the jury that despite our exhaustive review of the evidence and our diligent consideration of all disputed evidence, we have been unable to reach a unanimous verdict, signed by the foreperson. We all know how hard you've been working. Lunch will be arriving shortly. When it comes, I'd ask you to clear your heads, have lunch, and begin your deliberations again. Or continue your deliberations, all right? So I'm sending you back out.
And Dave, number one, is that enough? And number two, what's your experience been when juries do realize, what? We've been deliberating, we've been working hard. We just told you we can't agree. Why do we have to keep talking?
Well, it matters. First, I think that could be enough for an appellate court. I mean, if this ends up in a conviction, could the conviction be overturned because she doesn't use the exact language in the Allen charge? I guess possibly, but I sort of think that is good enough, at least for me. But it does matter that they give it their best, because if this case ends up in a hung jury, the vote will matter to prosecutors. So if this is a 10-2 vote in favor of Karen Read, then prosecutors
I think it's
are much less
11 to
likely
1.
retry the case. That's why this whole thing matters. If this is 6-6, then they're going to retry this case for sure. But if it's 11-1, 10-2, then yeah, it looks like Karen Read would go free after this.
Yeah, interesting point. How much do they take into account? I shouldn't phrase it that way. I know if a case has to be retried, Jeff, that they do take into account the victim's family to speak to them about it. In a case of this magnitude, in terms of the media storm, the number of those against and for Karen Read, how much do you think, if there is a mistrial, the victim's family, John O'Keefe's family, would want to see this retried?
It's hard to get in a victim's family on a case like this, because there's just got to be so much pressure on them on social media and just surrounding this case in the press. All of the requests that have got to be coming through to their house on all of the different issues that surround this case. There's just so much more than just, we think this woman did it. There's so much pressure on them from so many different angles in this case. And all of the time that this trial took and all of the different things that came out of this trial, and there has to be so much emotion that goes into this, to then have a jury sit there for days and days and days and say they just don't know. They just don't know what happened to this guy. That's got to be so hard on them. It's impossible to know whether they go to the prosecutor and say, walk away, or go get her again.
Right.
It's impossible to know what they
Yeah, you make great points, and I know prosecutors listen. They listen to the victim's family. They do take that into account, which is so important. Let's listen, though, because talking about frayed emotions, I think of the judge again. I've mentioned this before. Let's listen when she gets a little ornery with the defendant herself.
Listen to this.
Yes, that's what the verdict slip reads. It reads not guilty. If they don't check block 2, 3, or 4, the verdict slip reads not guilty. Okay? That's how it is, Mr. Jackson.
Well, and apparently that's how it's going to be, because the court's order. That is not how it should be, and it's our strong objection. They need to see that there is a not guilty option for the subordinate charges. If they come back guilty on, for instance, involuntary manslaughter, that's immediately appealable. They didn't have an option on the verdict form to find her not guilty.
I agree with him.
Is directing the verdict to the subordinate charges.
Okay. I disagree with you. Ms. Giannetti, you've seen verdict slips exactly like this. Okay?
I actually haven't.
Have you had
That judge is an asshole.
I have not seen the verdict slip there, but not an option.
Okay, I disagree with you.
There should be an option not guilty on all charges. It shows me the judge
Dave, talk to me about
is
that.
for the
Excuse me, this is
prosecutor.
funny, Ms. Reed. Does that just happen? What are your thoughts?
The judge just had enough. I mean, Karen Read decided not to testify, as is her right. She has spoken to the cameras outside. There are a lot of protesters who have her back, and they're very loyal to her. And I can see why the judge says, you're playing to, the people in the gallery, the cameras. This is not your courtroom. This is my courtroom. And I think she just had enough. And so I think that's fine. This was not.
If she had enough, the judge should come back, dismiss with prejudice, and it'd be over with.
She's even annoying the judge now, and the judge is not biased. I think she's done a good job in this case.
The hell she is biased.
Work with the judge, right? Let's just be honest. No matter how you're feeling as a defendant, you really, really have to keep your emotions to yourself.
Moments away, judge to address the jury. I think she's allowed to do it twice. I heard earlier today.
We'll take you to that courtroom. Stay with us.
On the next episode of Accomplice to Murder.
It looked like.
People, I know you are very smart people. The rich, the middle class, the low income people. I know you're all very smart. Reasonable doubt. They said she was drunk and backed over him. There's no evidence of her backing over him on the clothes or anything like that. They did not do no DNA test of his arm where the dog bit him. The expert says the dog bit him. You saw this police officer that I shared his video the other night, who trains canine dogs for the police department before his police department. He said it was a dog bite, not a car. He investigates car wrecks too. There is no sign on his damn body showing that he got hit by a damn car. And look at the dated by the FBI witness. It does not show that she hit him. The dated show that John O'Keefe was in that house. People, are you that damn stupid in Boston, Massachusetts? You must be. You done lost one of the main witnesses in the case. That trooper, the detective. I forget what his name is. They done lost him. So that's a main witness for the prosecutors. There's no way he can come back after committing perjury. People, I believe Karen Read might need some more money to help with those lawyers. I would want her to have another lawyer be involved in it. Because when you give your closing arguments, I listened to it. They should have brought out more reasonable doubts and this and that. They did only brought it out on a few things. They should have brought out more reasonable doubts. If you listen to the expert, the White Rabbit's husband, I think it was. Well, I think it was last night. Sorry about that. I couldn't get my cell phone quick enough. Higgins is a jealous jock. Oh my gosh, still no verdict. That's a joke. I believe it's a joke. Here's a new song, people. The powers of the fan going round and round, round and round, all day long. That's one guy. O-U-T-I is the first name.
You are unmuted.
Uh-oh. They're going back into court. I'm not going to bring it up. You're just going to listen to the audio.
All right. So
sent the note in at 3:30 like I've done each day, asking if they want to go home or continue. They indicated that they want to continue until 4:15. So we will continue until 4:15. Madam Court Reporter, thank you. Okay. All right. So see you at 4:15.
All right.
You hear people, 4:15.
You are muted.
See, that muting is the FBI. Listen to it. I guess they're on Zoom link.
Hey there, Karen Reed trial watchers. You know what a lot of the trials we cover remind me? It's that you gotta be careful who you surround yourself with, who you let into your life. Do you really know? I mean, it's a scary thing to think about. Well, that's why I'm so thrilled to talk to you about the sponsor of this week's Long Crime Trial stream, truthfinder.com. Honestly, with our content, I really can't think of a better service that can provide actual safety for you guys. Why do I say that? I say that because Truthfinder is one of the largest public records search services in the United States. Their whole goal is to help people like you learn about the people in their lives. And here's how it works. You go on their website, truthfinder.com, and you type in a name.
It's
For
a paid
your new
version.
neighbor. Let's say your new neighbor is me, Jesse Weber. Make it easy. You type in my name, and within minutes and a paid subscription purchase, you can access unlimited reports that could include information like phone numbers, location history, criminal and traffic records, including possible arrests and criminal convictions. Goes without saying, but I don't have any of those. Truthfinder has been partnering with Law and Crime for a while now. We actually use it to research some of the cases that we've been covering. But in general, it can help provide peace of mind when you do these unlimited public records searches. Also, you can search address to see registered sex offenders that may live in that area too. That's the point. Unless you use Truthfinder, you never know the reality about the people around you. Also, use Truthfinder. And here's the kicker. Right now, you can get first confidential background reports. Truthfinder. LC Live.
Let me see what time it is.
I got 3:44 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, people. So I guess I'll be on here until 4:15. So what do you think gonna happen? Are they gonna come back not guilty, not a reasonable doubt, guilty on the other charges? As I tell you, they got on the driving under the influence cost. That'd be a kill offense that she was not charged with it, arrested for it, or given a citation. I know that'd be grounds for appeal. I'm not a lawyer, but I'm hoping like the DUI guy, I little up since he's a DUI guy, and MC Law and the other people have got their YouTube law, got their law degrees to that. You know, there was this guy in, I guess, Korea. But, but they have to find them not guilty now because they lost that state trooper investigator. So they lost the main witness. I believe Massachusetts State Police got him on death duty for committing perjury. But 4:15 is the odd time, people. To me it is. I've never seen it. I've seen them go up until 9 o'clock at night, then come back to court. Somebody said, man, I can't. I got it on pause and my chat's still going 90 miles an hour. Why should we send Turtle Boy money? He's a reporter. He needs money for his lawyer on the false charges. If that wasn't for the Turtle Boy, you wouldn't be watching this right now on national news. You would see it on Live Court TV, Boston TV, and all that national news station. You wouldn't see that if that wasn't for Turtle Boy. He's a good reporter. You see what happened to him Sunday when he got assaulted by Jennifer, or whatever her asshole name is. But God knows she's innocent. You people that believe in God, God has the final judgment. If you don't believe in God or Jehovah or anything like that, you have to believe in them. Yeah, Jennifer did not tell the truth. She committed perjury. Somebody said not guilty is there's a whole lot of people in the law and crime. Some is guilty, only probably 10%, and another 90% says not guilty. You 10% needs to wake up. Did you watch the same court case from day one? Where's the fucking evidence, people?
Clayton Kendall, 812-699-0926, 699-0926, reference that at the solar field.
Hello, Curly J. I agree with you all. Before, man, I stop it and it still go past. FA, guilty. Fuck you. Guilty, guilty, guilty. David Gringer. That fan should get paid overtime.
Has sent a note to the jury to say, do you want to go home or continue? Well, it's interesting today, the jury gave a specific time frame, 45 minutes from 3:30 to 4:15. We want to continue until 4:15, knowing that it's now 3:43, so that gives them about 30 more minutes to deliberate. Still with us, thankfully, Jeffrey Wolf and Dave Ehrenberg, because help me with this, Dave. I think it's a little
Curly
unusual when the
J,
jury says,
I hope
"We will
so.
keep
That
deliberating for this many
not
minutes,"
guilty
versus,
verdict is
"We'll just keep
coming.
deliberating and see what happens."
Well, it's a Friday before a holiday week. They want to avoid coming back next week. They're going to give it one last go. I think it's just like the dead cat bounce. It's just like we're hopelessly deadlocked, but you know what? Let's give it one last shot. Here it is.
Is that 11-1 or 10-2 for not guilty?
4:15, they'll still have no decision, and then that's it. The law, though, in Massachusetts apparently is that you got to give them 2 instructions, and then you can't send it back to deliberate unless they, the jurors, agree to do so. So we've got the first instruction. I guess we'll get the second one.
Cheesy eggs. I gotta do 30 minutes felt to form, otherwise not just go and come back Monday.
With hot dogs and hamburgers.
It would be complete a miscarriage of justice if they find her guilty. It's a miscarriage of justice for her even being in court. The judge can declare a mistrial, or the judge can dismiss it with prejudice. The prosecutor has lost their main witness, that state trooper detective. He's in trouble for committing perjury on the stand. He's in trouble if the FBI hasn't arrested him. I've heard, I've seen, they've got 71 indictments getting ready to come out against people, Jennifer, her husband, sister-in-law, sister and brother-in-law, who commit the murders inside of the house. There is a choice, Sarah, Sherra. They're going to stay so the judge cannot accuse them of not trying. They know the judge then no choice but declare a mistrial. There's something else out there the judge can do. She can dismiss the charges with prejudice. For her career and her to get elected next time, it's best if she dismisses it with prejudice. Karen Reed and John O'Keefe is a beautiful. After the not guilty, let's call the V&E and get pizza. Ha! Not that pizza if that's where Turtle Boy was. Because there's something about the FBI. I can't even stop it or pause it.
Thank you. Now you're holding up, Karen. Week 6. Have you given it any more thought? Are we going to get to see you testify? Tell your story?
If I have to, I will. It's up to the big guys.
What was that, Karen?
DNA was on his clothes.
What are you thinking as you're sitting there during this part of the testimony? Reaction from today, Karen?
frustrating.
I know you can't say much, Karen, but is there anything that you can say about your relationship?
It was normal.
And you loved him, I'm sure.
I didn't. We were dating. We were dating. There is no case against me. After 8 weeks. After 8 weeks, it's smoke and mirrors, and it's going through.
It is smoke and mirrors, people.
A motive that was never there.
Have you thought about what it would be like to be able to make a stand for yourself?
Yeah, I have. I'd like to fill in some holes and correct some lies, but it's up to the attorneys, and they'll make the call probably at the 11th hour. And I'm there or not there.
You're lobbying though for your chance to testify?
I'm an outspoken person, and I've never not been able to speak up for myself and my defense, except when it matters the most. I've got to rely on them and their expertise, and I'll defer to the attorney.
How do we feel? The defense rested.
I feel great, Matt. I feel great.
What a way to end the case, right? With a little truth and professionalism. It feels, you have no idea how good it feels to finally get this thing done.
So did you already do the colloquy? Did you already say you're not going to testify?
Yeah, I won't be. I won't be.
You said that it's hard not to be outspoken, you know? And you also mentioned to the media that there are some things that you wish that you could clarify. Is there anything?
They'll be clarified one day, Matt. They'll be clarified. It might not be live, but it will be.
Listen, do you think life can ever be normal again for you?
It'll be different, but it'll be more settled than it is now. But it isn't for anybody ever in anyone's life.
It says Beverly should be removed.
Do you love to hate her or hate to love her?
I don't like the look of a defendant talking to cameras on the way in the courtroom. If you want to talk, do it on the stand. And for all of her supporters who are saying she's being framed, she's completely innocent, this is a total con job against her, she had the opportunity to take the stand, and she decided not to. And I know that that's something that, as a prosecutor, I can never say in the courtroom because she has a constitutional
It
right.
said Beverly is a crook
For
at
someone who loves
AF.
talking to the media and loves all this sympathy and support, it was an interesting decision for her to say, no, I'm going to pass on the chance to so-called clear things up.
But I think that's in part why she has so many supporters, because she has been so vocal, Jeff, since the beginning of this defense attorney perspective. Did any of that hurt her?
Well, I'll tell you right now, defense attorney perspective, sit down and shut up. Don't talk to the media. That is the time that you're going to hear us agree 100%. I will never let my client talk to the media when they are outside the courthouse, and I have had cases where they are. I will walk my client in. I will tell the media no comment myself. I don't like the defense attorneys talking to the media in this case. I know they have a job to do. I know they're doing it extremely well inside that courtroom, but you gotta just resist that urge to talk to the media on your own cases. You gotta let other people do it for you. But I will push back on she had to take the stand and tell her own story in there, because the right to not testify is sacrosanct in our system. And it's not something that we just have to respect when we're doing our roles as attorneys within the system. It's something we have to respect all the time, because you have a right not to testify. You have a right to remain silent in this country. And it is one of the things that separates our criminal justice system from every other criminal justice system in the world. And you are presumed innocent. You do not have to get on the stand to clear things up. You do not have to get on the stand to defend yourself. You do not have to get on the stand to show why the prosecution is or is not framing you. You do not have to testify in this country. She was under no obligation to do so. And the fact that she didn't do it is not something to be ridiculed or mocked on these airways or anywhere.
And I do think, and I know Dave well enough to know he was not at all ridiculing or mocking. I know him to know that. But I will say that I think it's really important to note that it is her choice, not her attorney's, and she chose. That was her choice. That's the constitutional right. Thank you to Jeffrey Wolf and Dave Ehrenberg for joining me today. Michael Ayala joins me next. We're going to bring you more here on Court TV.
An important message for Americans aged 50 to 85.
Oh my gosh, you're still using Mom's old coffee pot. It's my inheritance. Well, it is the family heirloom.
You know what? The kids can just sell it to pay for my funeral.
It's a good thing you have life insurance. Life insurance with our
Oh,
family.
people, I got a question for
It's
you.
guaranteed acceptance, whole life
The
insurance with no
Baldwin
questions
trial
asked.
is
On a
coming
fixed
up
income.
next week.
You have it?
We
Do
all
you all want me to share or just forget about it?
Colonial Penn.
That's right. Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. As you get older, your health may change. Colonial Penn understands that. And we don't think it should keep you from getting life insurance to help protect your family. That's why we guarantee acceptance to everyone age 50 to 85.
It's
No matter questions,
40
no medical
401
treatment,
here,
disease,
people,
and you have your choice of options
in
starting at $9.95
Indiana.
a month,
So they got
$2
about
a week,
14 more
35 cents
minutes.
a day. And your price will never go up. A lifetime rate lock guarantees it. This protection can last a lifetime too. Some insurance policies end once you reach a certain age. Not this one.
12 minutes left,
Yours to keep
people.
for as long as you like.
How did you apply? Called for information, got an application, filled it out, sent it
I'm
in,
going to
and
be
took a few
upset.
minutes. And look at this. They sent me this free beneficiary.
I'm just going
I
to
filled in
show
all my
you the
important
audio. I mean, listen to the audio. Since so many people is on StreamYard that using this to share it with their fans. Hit the thumbs up. Okay, Trooper Paul said the crime scene told him stuff, but the stiffness was Brian Albert, Brian Higdon, and the ringleader, Jennifer McKay, so the gross just for John O'Keefe and his mom and dad and those kids. Brian Albert and them killed John O'Keefe. They lost their main investigator, that trooper, which is friends with the Alberts. He should have withdrew from the case because conflict of interest. Ohio's in there. Hello, Ohio. Trooper Paul, you ain't coming back to court. The FBI is going to arrest you for perjury and corruption. You won't be coming back to court. Hey, people, what time is happy hour at the water forest start? And Curly J said they beat him up and chose to help or not to help. People, I know they said they'd be back at 4:15. It either be a hung jury or not guilty. All they have to do is check the box not guilty. It'll be over with. Then the FBI, with their 71 warrants, start arresting people within 30 days, give or take a little. It could be less than 30 days. It could be a week, all that. But the O'Keefe family should believe in their son's girlfriend that she didn't do it. They didn't even listen to the evidence. Somebody said, Turtle Rider, be prepared. This could be the big one. And somebody said, if guilty, it will get overturned on appeal. I believe it. Higdon was trying to fight O'Keefe at McCartney's restaurant the night of his death before the after party. You saw that on video, people. You saw that. Where Albert's trying to fight. Albert supposedly got a member on the jury. Well, the lawyers, they do background on those people. They know everything about them. If they do have a police officer on the jury, like I've heard, he or she should be dismissed for cause. Higgins at the center of this whole thing, besides Albert. 10 minutes more, people. Lady Hawk 56 says not guilty. 90% of you says not guilty. Okay, how do you not hear or see anything about the trial in today's world? You telling me the Albert is in all this corruption, couldn't find out the interest jury members' family? Come on. Somebody said, I'm calling it. See y'all Monday. It says, nobody knows what John did after she dropped him off. He was extremely drunk. Could be. But his cell phone data put him in the house. Put him in the house. Going down the flight of steps. Dated like that. Your GPS knows if you're going up an incline, down the hill, around the curve, at a stoplight, stop sign, it knows your stop. An incline is not steps, people. And Jennifer's sitting there committing perjury on the stand.
Yes.
And when you looked at that area of the vehicle, what could you see?
I saw that there were missing pieces, but there was also snow covering it.
So as you came down hill on Fairview, what if anything, what happened then?
Jen said, my sister's house is right up here. And all of a sudden, Karen said, there he is, there he is. Let me the F out of this car. And she started kicking the door. She ran over to the mound.
And at that point in time, even when she runs over, could you see what she was running over to?
At some point, I realized it was the shape of her body.
Now, the Commonwealth also presented evidence of a failing relationship, painted Reed as the crazy girlfriend who O'Keefe was growing tired of.
What, if any, conversations would you have with Mr. O'Keefe in regard to any sort of relationships or dating or anything like that?
Well, he dated a lot of people.
After Mr. O'Keefe said, calm down, that's Laura's little sister, I said, hi, nice to meet you. That's when Miss Reed's head snapped up, and she very loudly told me to go myself across the lobby. My sister pulled me aside from everybody and asked if the night that I got into the altercation with Miss Reed in the lobby, if I was making out with Mr. O'Keefe.
How did you respond?
That I absolutely was not.
As we got by different landmarks, she then started, screaming, asking if John could be at certain people's houses.
And so Ms. Reed is saying that in the car that morning as you're driving over to Fairview?
Yes, she asked, could he have been with Ashley? And I looked at her and said no, because to me that was a crazy idea. And then Carrie had mentioned, do you think he could have called somebody else that lived on a street over, and she started screaming, "Who's that? Who's she?"
People, you cannot bring that up in court, past stuff. How do I know that? You all remember years ago in Indiana, around New Albany, David Camp, the prosecutor brought up where he was having affairs, this and that. And they found him guilty because supposedly he had affairs. The Court of Appeals overturned his conviction. They had DNA there, all this, from somebody else. It was an African American person. And he had witness showing where he was at. He was at a gym playing basketball. Finally, the court overturned his conviction and he's free. The guy, the African American guy that killed the wife and kids, are in prison. So you can't bring up in court, maybe he had a girlfriend, that prejudiced the jury. The judge should have objected to it. I know Indiana is different from Massachusetts, but it went to the Court of Appeals, where that was at. So, see, they've got grounds for appeal. Higgins did take part into it. I believe it. Let me look down. Oh, 4:14. We got a minute left, people. I don't think they will come back at 4:15. They've been in deliberations 20 hours, 42 minutes, and 54 seconds. I see 90% of you people says not guilty. I see 10% guilty.
No, you don't necessarily have to present any evidence as a defendant, but under the circumstances in this case, with the claims made in opening statements, I suggest they kind of put the burden on themselves to present some evidence of some kind of cover-up.
They absolutely did, Michael. And we had a lot of indication that they were going to bring forth a lot more evidence that possibly these people were all conspiring together at the beginning of this trial. And we just didn't see enough of that from the defense to take that over. And it's been very disappointing, like you said.
But Michael, I have to push back a little bit.
Get down.
I do think, though, that by making that such a big deal, they forced the state's hand to present evidence to fight that it was a conspiracy that the defense was then able to use in their favor.
I thought long and hard about this because I questioned the strategy of putting so much into that fact that there was this conspiracy.
Mhm.
And I think they were forced into it because of the hair on the taillight. You had to explain the hair on the taillight some way. And so by extension, if a juror is going to believe that she's innocent, they almost have to buy a little bit into the idea that there was some frame up by someone involved in that investigation.
Yeah, listening to the state's case, I do see how I could draw the conclusion that Karen Reed was drunk and hit him. But also evidence that made me say that something was going on inside that house. I don't know if it was the murder and cover up or not, but I just, that's what I question.
Well, those words alone, which I happen to agree with, that there was something going on in that house, provides me with reasonable doubt.
Yeah, that's fair.
It provides me with reasonable doubt. And some of the things we saw about Proctor, put that all together, it'd be difficult for me to convict.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the jury does do. We're waiting on them. They said they wanted to deliberate till 4:15. So we are going to take a break, and coming up, we'll look at key evidence in the defense's case as we wait them.
Those is dog bites. That's not from a car hitting him. You know.
So, jurors, we all know how hard you work. It's been a long day. We're going to let you go. We'll see you Monday morning at 9 o'clock. To the extent that you can, please just not think about this case this weekend. Clear your heads. We'll start fresh on Monday. So, please follow those instructions. Do not discuss this case with anyone. Don't do any independent research or investigation into the case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about the case, please disregard it. We'll see you. Thank you.
All right, everyone, please. Your phone,
Look, the Albert family, they discussed this. I told you early this morning that it'll be Monday.
All right, we'll see you Monday morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
So people,
Hey there, Karen Reed trial watchers. You know what a lot of the trial.
so it'll be Monday. I will stream it, but I'll have it on my phone to talk about it while we're waiting. It's another payday for the jury. I don't know anybody in Massachusetts. People who live in Boston, how much do they get paid a day there in Boston for jury duty? Here in Indiana and Clark County, I think it's $40 to $50 a day. They could have raised it since the last time I was picked for a jury. Back then was $45 a day. Back 2 or 3 years ago. It might have been longer. I think it was before I bought this house, maybe 5 years ago.
My turn off.
My baby. So, people, I'm going to say goodbye. Might go to the sale barn tomorrow up in Scottsburg and walk around, get my exercise. That way my kitty cats ain't following me up there. So I want to thank you, some of your opinions. I know some of you agree that she's guilty, but I listened to the evidence. I listened to the DUI guy, MG Law, and the other lawyers' YouTube channels I watch, which they explain it to me where I can understand it, my mental capacity. So I want to thank you all, your new subscribers, your old subscribers, Australia. I want to say hi to everybody, no matter what country you're in. Let's put my camera back on. You know, you all great people. I feel like I've been ran over by a Mack truck. And I got about 30 minutes before I go outside and feed the babies their canned cat food. But I love my kitty cats. They eat better than I do. Had chicken for lunch today. Threw the bones out there with a little meat because people said you shouldn't give the cat bones. People, them outside cats eat birds, baby rabbits, squirrels, and there's bones that they eat. That's natural for an outside animal to do that. Ouch. Alex, you almost fall, but you put your claw into my britches. So let me show you Alex. Look here. See, there's Alex. Her mom is no, this is Alexi. Alex is her mama. Because her mama is kind of like a calico. Alex got a baby brother, two baby sisters in here, Kathy and Nancy. Nancy's a calico cat. Kathy is a yellow cat. So let's see if this person leaves me a voicemail. I'm getting tired of these spam calls. That's how come I keep my cell phone off 90% of the time. I get spam calls up until 6, 8 o'clock at night. You know, they're not supposed to call you after so-and-so time. I can turn my phone on at 8 o'clock, bam, I then have missed calls, spam calls. So I want to thank you all. God bless you all. Peace, my friend. Have a great day. I don't know if I'll be live tonight. TB, trying to beware, might be live. Or is it Saturday night he's live? I don't know. I just have to wait and see. Watch the expert. Subscribe to his channel or the White Rabbit. That's his better half. The Umbrella Guy. MG Law. Megan Fox, the writer. If you like good police videos and stuff go on, watch RD on the Scene or Kern County Crime Watchers, White T-Shirt Media, DUI Guy in Louisville, Kentucky. That's about 20 miles south of me to the Louisville line. And I want to thank you all. God bless you all. Good afternoon. Have a great weekend. Be safe. I love you all. Goodbye. God bless you all, no matter what country. I want to say hi to your people in Russia. You heard me play the song the other night that this good looking blonde with the blue eyes was singing. I did find the English version translate. That's a pretty nice song that she sang. I wish I could find some on YouTube and maybe try to share it, but it's probably copyrighted. I don't know. But it wouldn't hurt to try because I love that song. And Russia got some pretty good looking ladies over there, but I'm nobody. I got no money. I'm nobody's sugar daddy. And I plan to go to the, I guess, Sale Barn. That's up in Scottsburg, Indiana. I think on Main Street. You got to get there between 5 a.m. to 10 o'clock. I think about 11 o'clock they start tearing down. You got people there that sells honey, other stuff. They got tomatoes, cabbage, lettuce, corn, and stuff like that. So I'll probably see you tomorrow. God bless you all.